Good afternoon. Lesson 6, World History B. I'm gonna do this backwards though today. Again, 1 to 1:30. Drop in, say hi, see what's up. Office hours, Monday to Thursday, 2:30 to 4. A little bit about me. As you can see, 6.1, 2, 3, 4. I'm working on 5 and 6 should be up by the end of today, Friday. So I can do that over the weekend. Right? We are jumping into the age of reason using thought to explain things. Hopefully it all looks good on your end. Let's get this going. As always, I ain't got much time. Let me set up my timer just so that I don't bore you guys forever because sometimes teachers do bore students. All right. Phenomenon. Doing things backwards though today. We have 6 things to look up as we go through this. What advances were essential to the scientific revolution? Mathematics, theism, philosophy, science. Select the 3 that apply. How did the scientific method influence changes in philosophical view of mankind? Choose the correct answer. Why is the term enlightenment used in reference to the age of reason? What means of attaining knowledge that the philosophies exalt above all else? Ooh, exalt. That's a good word. Bust out my dictionary. Exalt. E-X-E-U-E-X-L-X-X-X. X. The girl before that one I have right now. Exalt. I'm just kidding. Raise in dignity, praise, fill with joy, exalt. Always good to have a dictionary handy or Google it, right? Different arrows for you, like for us. Choose the correct answer. Differed from other philosophies because he believed that both reason and emotion played a role in a person's decision. And then drag and drop the word or phrase with the correct description. Voltaire, deism, Descartes, Montesquieu, and Locke. I have all these guys up here. We'll be going over them soon. Let's go ahead and get into it now. Now, go back to the top. Forgive me, just had a little ternera. Our term for today is phenomenon, an observable event. I don't know about brown. Let's do pink, sure. An observable event. Our characters today are a whole bunch of people, guys, for this lesson. Turn off this music. René Descartes, French philosopher, soldier, and mathematician. Famous maxim, I think, therefore I am. Right? Voltaire, a French philosopher and poet, believed human reasoning alone liberated people from intellectual darkness. Right? Reason, thought. During the Renaissance, the writings of Plato and Aristotle were particularly popular among scholars. Plato emphasized the existence of morals and universal truths. Aristotle emphasized the study of physical universe and mankind. Put these guys together and you start changing the way people think. Total game changer. Sextus Empiricus, a writing of the ancient philosopher translated in the late 16th century. Empiricus encouraged his followers to doubt everything, make no judgment. Knowledge could only be obtained by observance or appearance. His philosophy had a powerful influence on scientific study. It emphasized the study of phenomena, observable or current events. For example, an apple falling from a tree is a phenomenon. It can be seen with the eye. In contrast, belief is not a phenomenon. You cannot see belief. The term empirical comes from Empiricus' name. Therefore, empirical evidence is observable. Like America, the word and the name America comes from the explorer Amerigo Vespucci, who explored the Americas. He said this isn't Europe or Africa or Asia, so in his respect, we named it after him, America. Read through here more while observations key. You all got to read. I'm not going to read it all. René Descartes. Descartes was born in 1596. Whoops. In France. He studied law. During his travels as a soldier, Descartes developed a hunger for certitude, to know without being troubled by doubt. In 1637, Descartes published his method in determining truth. Accept truth only which is beyond doubt. Divide the problem into small as possible parts. Begin with the simplest part. Make complete and detailed list and or diagrams. Kind of like to-do list, write these things out and then get them done all at once. The system formed the basis for Descartes' famous maxim, cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. Right? Isaac Newton, here's René Descartes, by the way, with his mustache and his little goatee. What is he most known for? I think, therefore I am. Moving on. Isaac Newton, Sir Isaac Newton, he was knighted. According to the ancient Greek, God was the prime mover, or God was the prime mover. In other words, he put everything in motion. Isaac Newton's thought concerning the operation of the universe had profound effect on philosophers of the 17th and 18th century. Others did not interpret Newton's discoveries in that way. Some people were mad because of the things they were saying. So Isaac Newton, next slide up here. What is he famously known for? He is responsible for working out many of the principles of visible light and the laws of motion. Inventions: he invented the reflecting telescope, new theory of light and color, discovered calculus, 3 laws of motion, devised the law of universal gravitation, and advanced early modern chemistry. These guys did a whole bunch of stuff. Again, you're encouraged to read. I'm just briefing over this. Deism. Religiously, this view manifested in the development of deism or deism. Tomato, tomato. A deist believed that God existed but did not involve himself with mankind's day-to-day life. Right? So D is not there. Deism. God is not there. The deists believe that reason and the workings of the universe gave sufficient evidence for God's existence. So God's there, but he's not there, and that's okay because he still allowed us to be. John Locke, a key advocate of the idea of natural law. John Locke was a physician who had great appreciation for new discoveries of science. He placed great emphasis on the senses, meaning obtaining of knowledge. His famous work is tabula rasa, or blank tablet, blank slate. This idea that we were born with everything, he says, nah, we're born with blank minds and then we learn throughout our lives. Recent evidence says, hey, this guy was right, because when you're born, your brain doesn't have all these wrinkles and ridges. When you're born, your brain has less of them. As we learn, these wrinkles and ridges get deeper, right? That is John Locke. There's John Locke. What is he mostly known for? Pioneered the idea of natural law, social contract, religious toleration, and the right to revolution. Social contract. The government, I will okay you as long as you don't do something bad to me. The minute you do, I get to go against you. Right, this right to revolution. Moving on, we got a lot to do. The philosophies. Here are some of those answers that you're looking for in our readings. I'm going to skip it so you can read it, because that's the whole point of history. You got to read this stuff in order to make sense of it. So far, I don't think we've come across any answers down. Voltaire, leading philosophy, French philosopher and poet, François-Marie Arouet, also known as Voltaire, believed that the Roman Catholic Church had darkened the thinking of Europeans. Voltaire was a great proponent of religious tolerance and freedom of the press, right? So if we go check out what Voltaire did, summaries, right? He is known for the fictitious letters philosophies and the satirical, what was that? I don't know what that means. His main philosophy, the efficacy of reason. He believed that social progress could be achieved through reason and not through authority. Religious, political, or otherwise, should be immune to challenge by reason. Oh, okay. Montesquieu, super famous when it comes to our United States Constitution. Chief of the Enlightenment, leading philosopher in political theory, hence the Constitution. Frenchman Charles Baron de Montesquieu, influenced by John Locke, the Glorious Revolution. He believed that the system allowed for the greatest freedom. What system? Separation of powers. Our U.S. Constitution has 3 branches: legislative, executive, and judicial. Right? Legislative, executive, and judicial. These branches is a John Locke thing. Sorry, Montesquieu. I don't know why I said John Locke. Baron de Montesquieu. Jean-Jacques Rousseau was born in Geneva, Switzerland in 1512. Sorry, 1712. Oh, just messing up today. My bad, guys. Rousseau had a great influence on political theory. His book, The Social Contract, claimed that government should reflect the will of the people. So what John Locke said earlier, Rousseau just takes it a bit deeper than that, right? It allowed the general will of the people to rule. People rule, not government rule, right? Why? Government's not in charge. Nah, the people give the government its power, right? Jean-Jacques Rousseau. There's Jean-Jacques Rousseau. He is best known for reconceiving the social contract as compact between the individuals of a collective, the general will, aimed at the common good, and government. Right? Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Let's finish up. Adam Smith was born in 1723. He is pretty much this guy's behind money. essentially. Smith was awarded a professorship at Glasgow University and lasted 13 years. In 1759, he published a Theory of Moral Sentiments, a book that ensued popularity to overseas students to Smith's classes. An important subject covered by Smith, the theory of moral sentiment was mutual sympathy, right? After being hired as a tutor, Adam Smith traveled abroad, returning home and writing The Wealth of Nations, the first modern tome of economics. Published in 1776, The Wealth of Nations explains the reasons Adam believes countries attain wealth, the division of labor, productivity, and free markets. I hope this little review helps. I just went over a whole bunch of these guys, right? Descartes, Newton, Locke, Voltaire, Montesquieu, Rousseau, and Adam Smith, also known as the father of economics. Read a bit more so you can answer your questions right down here. You owe me 6 of them. Best of luck. If you don't do well, email me. I'll reopen it for you. Let me know why you didn't do so well. You have a great weekend. Be good. Be well.